Have severe storms in the area, and it is still wild across northeast Kansas. Let's check out, can you go to the other source, guys? Denny, can you take the other one? There you go. This is Mike Sharewis in Harrington right now live. I'm going to back up a few minutes ago so you can see how wild it's been. These winds are gusting easily 70, 80 miles per hour there in Harrington. That's 5 minutes ago, I guess, 7 minutes ago. Still extremely windy. So that's what's moving into Morris County right now. And it's calming down a little bit at that location, but extremely strong winds still ripping across northeast Kansas. So let's check out what we have on KDOT here. Alma so far is okay. Deep Creek Road, not too wild. Junction City, the winds were strong a few moments ago. Looks like it's not as bad as it was a few minutes ago, but the dangerous winds are now getting into Manhattan. This is probably, there you go. That's at K18 on the southwest side of Manhattan. And the winds are at least 70 miles per hour in that shot. So we still have these dangerous winds beating up northeast Kansas. Bring back over the radar, please. So this is what we have now. I rolled my pod out here for the newscast. There's Manhattan. So we have the extremely strong winds in Manhattan right now. I'm going to check out the view there from the Stormont Vale Manhattan campus. We've had winds at least 70 miles per hour in several areas along this line, and it could be as high as 80. So there's the wind at Manhattan right now. It's a live shot from the Midland Exterior Sky Camera Network, and this is at the Stormont Vale Manhattan campus is where you're looking from right there. These winds are 60, maybe 70 miles per hour. This is not quite up to 80. This is not as strong as what I just saw in Harrington a few minutes ago from Mike Sharewis, who is storm chasing over there, but certainly very strong and likely up to the limits of a severe storm there in Manhattan right now. So we continue with the severe storm watch going until 1 o'clock in the morning for most of us. If you're in areas like Marshall County, Nemaha, Brown County, Atchison, Doniphan, it looks like this is going to stay south of you, but Topeka to Emporia, to Burlington, we are still very likely to be dealing with severe storms for the next couple of hours. So there is the radar showing the leading edge of the dangerous winds, just getting into Manhattan in the last few moments here. So St. George, you'll have this shortly, over to Wabaunsee, Wamego in the next 15 minutes. And these winds are 70 miles per hour close to it along this line. Ogden, over to Fort Riley. If you're at Fort Riley, I know that a lot of you folks are from all over the place. Maybe you've never dealt with severe weather before. This is not a tornado situation around Fort Riley. The winds are very strong, I have no doubt, but just stay inside while the storm passes there at Fort Riley. Now, things like this can form tornadoes, little indentations like that, so we have to watch those real close as we go over the next couple of hours here. There's another one right there in the southeast part of Dickinson County. This has a rotation right there. This thing that's in, I believe we're in the western part of Morris County there. Yeah, that is just west of Council Grove. If we had a tornado warning issued, it's going to be that. So if we had a tornado warning issued, that's the thing that would do it. Council Grove, you're about to get winds gusting probably 70 miles per hour, maybe even 80. The stuff coming from Harrington, I showed you a moment ago on Mike's video, that is coming straight from Harrington over toward Council Grove. So Wilsey, no doubt folks around Wilsey are getting winds that are gusting 70, maybe 80 miles per hour right now. Council Grove is coming your way, and that feature right there, if something's going to produce a tornado warning, it's that dude. So near Wilsey, if anybody gets told to take shelter, it's going to be you. And if you're in Wilsey, that video I showed you a moment ago from Harrington, that's coming your way like now. Like in the next few moments, you will have winds like that in Wilsey. So that's going to be on you shortly. Latimer, you've already got it. White City, the strong winds are already to you. Parkerville, it should arrive in the next few moments or so. Farther to the south, this part of the warning in Chase County, the National Weather Service has issued the destructive tag with 80 mile per hour winds, tornado possible, and that's from the Wichita National Weather Service. There you go. Okay, hey, let's do TV, guys. Can you do TV? Wave at me. Okay, I'm ready. So Counselor, we're at the warning here. So I was talking about that a moment ago here. Thank you. All right, we have a tornado warning just issued, and I was showing this to folks on the live stream a moment ago and mentioning that if somebody got a tornado warning, it's going to be this. So we'll see. Take shelter right now. Just take shelter. You have a potential tornado right here, just southeast of Latimer, just southwest of Parkerville. We'll see. You have a potential tornado a couple of miles to your northwest. In Council Grove, this tornado, potential tornado, is not that far away from you. If you're in Council Grove, I need you to take shelter right now. The distance on that is about 13 miles away from Council Grove at this time. So it's not quite to you, and you've got a few minutes before this would arrive. Let's give you a time of arrival here on this from the potential tornado there. If it makes it to Council Grove, we're looking at it just about, what we got, 11:07 being the arrival time. So you've got a few minutes before it arrives in Council Grove, but the rotation of that stands out pretty well here on the radar. That's it right there. And even if you don't see a tornado, you could easily see 70 to 80 mile per hour winds with this part of the storm that's moving toward Council Grove and very close to Wilsey right now. So if you're in Wilsey, I need you to take shelter right now. You're very close to a potential tornado. These storms have a history of producing winds of 113 miles per hour earlier in Salina. So we've had winds over 100 miles per hour with this stuff earlier. And when this storm moved through Harrington a few minutes ago, no doubt it was at least 80 miles per hour with those winds. So right now, looking out there live from Council Grove, that is the view currently with the severe storm that's just to your west and coming your way. Now in Manhattan, I want to show you how wild it is in Manhattan now. This is a view from the Stormont Vale Manhattan campus where we have severe winds as well right now. Here it is. That is the view right now from the Midland Exterior Sky Camera Network. This is in Manhattan. Again, that's the Stormont Vale Manhattan campus. These winds are easily 70 miles per hour, maybe even be higher than that there in Manhattan. So, not a tornado warning in Manhattan, but that's the kind of wind we have along this line that extends from Manhattan down to just about Wilsey right now. So that's not uncommon. That's something we've seen quite a bit of the last couple of hours with the southern part and the western part of the storm. Again, folks around Salina had winds to 113 miles per hour. That was just at 9:22 p.m. is when that happened. So again, this dangerous storm in Manhattan right now is just part of the line, and it's making its way farther east. So Topeka could have to deal with this as well. Emporia, Osage City, Burlington. I really think we're going to have a lot of warnings, these higher end warnings coming up here in the next few minutes. So right there's your tornado, potential tornado, right by Wilsey right now, almost to Council Grove. The rotation on this, right there. Not as pronounced as it was in the last frame, which is great news. But again, we have strong straight line winds in this. I'll kind of track it there. There's the rotation just a couple of minutes ago, and now it's right there north of Wilsey. So it's really on track to go toward Council Grove if it continues. Now the rotation doesn't look as tight as it was a moment ago, but it's still there. And either way, Council Grove, you've got winds coming that I'd be surprised if not at least 70 miles per hour, probably closer to 80 is what we saw a few moments ago as it passed through Harrington. And I just showed you the north part of the storm. So everything along this line from St. George, almost to Wamego, everything from Manhattan down here to Parkerville, Dwight, and Wilsey, everything along that line, these winds are at least 70, if not higher. There's a rotation there in the southwest part, south central part of Morris County, and then getting down to Chase County, the Weather Service says these winds are at least 80 miles per hour in that area. So again, it's a dangerous line of storms that's moving through. I do expect to see Topeka dealing with this. Emporia is going to have winds gusting 80 miles per hour close to it within the next hour. Burlington, I'd say by midnight, you'll be dealing with winds this strong. And again, this is that live view from Manhattan. That looks like a low-grade hurricane when you get something like this. And from what I see on the radar, this part of the storm is not as impressive as the stuff going toward areas around Council Grove. This is really where it looks like the storm is not quite as extreme as the stuff that's farther down the line. Can you guys take the other source over to the screenwriter for me, please? So this is a view there from K18, just on the southwest side of Manhattan. I'm going to check on the interstate and see if it's ripping on the interstate here as well. There's I-70 at Deep Creek Road, exit 315. This is exit 313 where you get off I-70 and go over to Manhattan. The wind there doesn't look as bad as it does in the city of Manhattan itself. Then down farther to the south, let's check out this view. That's in Marion County, and that one's going to be in Marion County as well, just seeing if it's getting into those areas quite as extreme. Now, the next few moments here, we're going to see it in Wamego. That's the view at Flush Road and Highway 24, and you can see that wind. Again, it looks like a low-grade hurricane now getting into the folks there at St. George. And watch that camera, whole thing shaking in the wind there as it gets to the St. George area. That's Mike Sharuas. He's over in Harrington right now, and things have calmed down where he is. But a few minutes ago, check out how wild his video was. That's Harrington about 18 minutes ago. And that's what's heading over toward Council Grove here in the next few minutes. That's what's near Wilsey right now in Parkerville. All along this line, folks are seeing winds that are that extreme. So that's what Mike had in Harrington a few minutes ago as he was storm chasing this. The winds were at least 80 miles per hour in that shot. Take me to the source, guys, please, if you will. So this is Manhattan again. And again, it looks like a low-grade hurricane there. And that part of the storm is not quite as rough on the radar, at least, as what's going on down the line. So Council Grove, be ready for 80-mile-per-hour winds. There's potential tornado there. The Weather Service seeing this a few minutes ago and saying they saw enough rotation to issue the tornado warning with this. So let's check out the velocity on this again as it's passing by Wilsey now and almost to Council Grove. I'm going to read you the text on this and see what the Weather Service has to say. They say just 1 minute ago, continues to 11:15 for southeast Morris. 10:47, capable of producing a tornado 4 miles northeast of Wilsey, moving east at 50 miles per hour. Now, earlier the rotation was moving about 5 miles per hour. So this is moving faster by far than it was earlier. And if this doesn't produce a tornado, it's still going to produce winds that are probably in the vicinity of 80 miles per hour. So Council Grove, you should be taking shelter right now. Get away from windows, the lowest level of your house, and just stay inside while this thing passes Council Grove. If you're in Council Grove and you try to step outside, you're not going to be able to see this thing, so don't try to get outside and check it out. You're just not going to be able to see it there. I'm going to take the other view here, bring up the Council Grove camera, and we'll look there from Council Grove and see what we can see from this. Again, we're looking from Council Grove, and I'll be looking to the west into the storm. And at night, rain-wrapped, but this is coming directly at Council Grove. This is the camera there on the east side of town from the folks at TCT Broadband. Helped us out with this one, of course, and looking east. The downtown Council Grove is there kind of on the left side, middle of the shot there, and straight to the west is where this will be coming from. So we've got a really good look at it if it does, in fact, get into Council Grove. And again, that view in Manhattan looking a lot like a hurricane. We've got the strong straight line winds are in town right now. And really that north part of the storm near Manhattan, this is still gusting at least 70 miles per hour there in the Little Apple. So Manhattan, the good news I have is this part of the storm does not appear to be rotating. If you're around Fort Riley and Junction City, I don't see rotation around you guys. I know the strong winds in Fort Riley. I know the strong winds in Junction City. It should start to calm down here in about 10, 15 minutes, but still going to be a extreme wind along this line. Here's the look along the line as it gets into Wabaunsee County as well, and we have winds 70 miles per hour, just about to get into Volland. Alta Vista could be dealing with 70 mile per hour winds right now. And another problem we have developing here is those little areas developing out ahead of the storms is the kind of stuff that can produce tornadoes. So we don't have a nice smooth line out here. We've got this areas kind of fingers like reaching out ahead of it. Those are the kind of things that can rotate, especially in an environment like this. So we have to watch all this stuff. But 70 mile per hour winds at least happening all along this line. So it's just about to Wamego. If you're in Wamego, you've got maybe 5 minutes before the winds are gusting 70 miles per hour. It could even be already started for you. Alta Vista, McFarland, Alma, Volland. This is all moving your way with the 70 mile per hour winds, or maybe even higher. Council Grove, you should be taking shelter right now. Let's check out where the rotation is on that again. And it's not as strong as it was, but again, it looks like it's straight west Straight west of Council Grove is one rotation. There's another one just northwest of town. So there's two different rotations showing up. The strongest one is right over Highway 56 there now from what I see. And as you look out live on the radar, watch for lightning flashes to see if I see anything. And if there's storm spotters there, certainly they'd be calling us into the Weather Service, letting them know what we see. And I don't see any reports coming in of us down. So again, that's the view live there in Council Grove right now. You are in a tornado warning going until 11:15. I do encourage everybody in Council Grove, take shelter. We've had storms before that didn't look that impressive on radar that produced tornadoes, and that one certainly could. Now, down the line, I want to warn people here in Emporia. You're not in a warning yet, but you will be. This line of storms, especially the southern part, has a history of the stronger winds, 100 miles per hour and up in some spots. So Emporia, Opie, Neosho Rapids, Americus, you should be ready for this to produce winds 90 miles per hour or worse. That's a real possibility getting into Lyon County in the next few minutes. Burlington, Coffee County, you guys, Gridley, Leroy, New Strawn, over to the Wolf Creek plant. You should be ready for these strong straight line winds that could be as high as 90 miles per hour or maybe even a bit worse in some spots. So heads up, if you're out ahead of this, it's coming. Topeka, we are in line, in town, for that kind of storm that's coming through Manhattan right now. Check out the live view in Wamego now. It's still calm in Wamego. So in Wamego in the next couple of minutes, you're about to get these strong winds. If you guys can take me to the other source again, I want to show Wamego what's coming their way. So this is at Flush Road on Highway 24 there, just to the west of Wamego. And a moment ago, this looked like a hurricane. Let's see if it's still working. Yeah, there you go. So that's Flush Road at Highway 24, and still seeing the winds at least 70 miles per hour in that shot. So that's going to arrive in Wamego in just really the next few moments here. All right, take me back over to the other computer guys, please. Thank you. So Wamego, again, things are calm at the moment, but that's just about to change pretty dramatically. And I'm watching there, that's from the WIBW transmission tower. That's going to be in the path of this in a few minutes. We'll be able to have a look at it as it comes through there, as well as the storm makes its way down I-70 as well. So St. Mary's, you got a few minutes before this arrives. McFarland, Paxico, this is coming toward you. On down the line, again, the tornado warning still in place there in Council Grove. I don't see the rotation as strong as it was a moment ago. Again, when it was near Harrington, we had winds of 80 miles per hour, at least close to it. And as I look there, I've got a much better look at this cloud as it's really close to Council Grove now. So let's take this thing full and see what we've got. And the lights in town there will be able to show this a bit better as well. So kind of in the top middle, I do see a lowering, but I don't see this thing down. You can see it right there with me, I'm sure. And going over to the left there, you can see in the top middle, that bright area in the cloud, that's a lowering as well. So there's two different parts of this that look like they've got spin to them. And I do not see it down, thankfully, for goodness sake. We'll go a little farther to the left here. Now I'm looking just to the south of downtown Council Grove. That's the most suspicious thing right there in the top middle of that shot. That's it. Okay, so that's, if we had a tornado touchdown, it's going to be that thing right there over Council Grove right now. So downtown Council Grove here, here's your rotation. That may be a funnel cloud, and you can see how fast it's moving. Again, the Weather Service says it's moving 50 miles per hour now. So that's it, right over downtown Council Grove, and about to come out of the shot. So in the next few moments here, Council Grove, you will be clear, but that's it. Right, you should be taking cover right now in Council Grove and close by, but in the next 3 minutes here, that will move past you. So Council Grove, you are in danger here for a moment, and that thing's going to continue moving to the west, or moving to the southeast, I'm sorry. We're following that feature here as it moves a little farther away from downtown. But you can still see it in the lightning flashes there from time to time. I can see a little better on the monitor here, but that's it. That's a potential tornado. And if at a minimum, you've got winds that are 70, 80 miles per hour there with this. Okay. So Council Grove, I really think this is past you now. The strong winds are just arriving in Council Grove. But what I saw that it looked like it could be a tornado, that is now past Council Grove. So I really think that the threat for the tornado in Council Grove looks like it's done with at this moment. Stay in your shelter there anyway until the Weather Service does cancel this warning. I'm still trying to follow that thing with the camera as well. Now check out the rotation on this again. It's gone just right close to just south of Council Grove now. Yeah, that's definitely what we had. Okay. So Council Grove, this is past you now. It's southeast of Council Grove. It's start moving into Lyon County. There's a significant chance of us seeing a tornado warning issued for Lyon County in the next few minutes. So heads up, that might happen. Up the line here, we have the damaging winds moving through Riley County, getting into St. George in the last few minutes as well, and almost to Wamego. The tornado warning right now in the eastern part of Morris County, we have to watch for is see if they continue that as a tornado warning over into Lyon County. And what I want to show you here, we're back in Manhattan. Look how long these winds are still this strong. This has been going on for more than 15 minutes. Harrington was the same kind of thing a little while ago when Mike Sharuos was storm chasing there. You could see the damaging winds last easily for 15 minutes, and we're stronger there in the southern part of this storm. All right, so Manhattan to Wamego. Wamego's got the strong straight line winds almost for sure now. We'll go ahead and check that out on the camera as well. I'm bringing back up the radar. Again, Morris County, around Council Grove, that's where the tornado warning is and where we might have had a tornado touchdown. The rotation is not as organized as it was a few minutes ago for sure, but what rotation there is this right here, just straight south of town on Highway 177, and that's going to start moving over into Lyon County. Up the line, there's another rotation here, just southeast of Alta Vista. There's another spin close to Volland. And all along this line where these little eddies are, you could see a tornado, or at least a tornado warning, and you're certainly going to see winds that are gusting something like 70 miles per hour, and some spots probably going to gust as close to 80 miles per hour. So we'll check out the Wamego view. A few moments ago, it was still calm, and now we've got rain falling there in town. And it doesn't look like the winds are quite as extreme as they were in other spots, at least not yet. So we'll see. Yeah, that looks like it's starting to pick up now. Here's a view from the WIBW transmission tower. I'm going to be checking this camera repeatedly here in the next few minutes to see if we see any lowering of that stuff that's coming out of the western part of Wabunsee County. And again, I'm suspicious to see if they, I'm curious to see if they issue a tornado warning farther with this rotation that goes over into Lyon County. Either way, if you're in Lyon County, you're going to have a warning. You've already got a severe storm warning. And let's see, they've got it for 70 mile per hour winds, is what they're saying here, and going until midnight. So that is a full hour. They just issued this warning for a full hour. Let's read the warning on this. It includes Coffee County, Osage County is in this. It's actually Shawnee, Morris, Wabunsee, Osage, Coffee, Lyon. We've got that's six counties in this warning. They say storms near Council Grove moving east at 45. So that's where the line is. 70 mile per hour winds, nickel-size hail, public and spotters reporting 60, 70 mile per hour winds along the line. And they say pretty much everybody's included. And the wind threat is observed. It's not Doppler radar indicated, of course. So we've seen plenty of reports and video to represent that this is not just Doppler radar indicating it. It's a real line of storms, really most likely causing some damage in spots. All right, so Wamego, the strong winds are likely arriving right now. Louisville as well. Just a little bit to the east, we've got Bellevue. This will arrive in town in the next 5 or 10 minutes. Rossville, it's probably going to be 15 minutes or so. Topeka, now this storm is still from the west side of town, still a good 25 miles away. Now, if it's moving 50 miles per hour, Topeka's got 30 minutes until the severe wind would arrive in the city limits. So, you have time to have a pizza delivered in a half hour before the storm would arrive. That's enough time to get bored and wonder where it's at, frankly. So if you're in Topeka and you just heard your weather radio go off or your apps are going off and it's my voice saying, severe storm warning has been issued, it's going to be a while. So if you're in Topeka, you're looking outside saying, where's the storm? It's going to be a half hour before it arrives. Osage City, same thing. Burlingame, same thing. Linden, going to be a while. So Olivet, Lebo, New Strawn, Burlington, Gridley. If you're wondering, where's the storm at? You said there's a severe storm warning for us. It's going to be a half hour before this arrives along Highway 75 to any of those locations. Emporia, it's getting closer to you though. Let's see the distance from Emporia to the leading edge of the storms. Still about 15 miles, so you've got like 20 minutes. There's plenty of lead time on this for sure. Now, the warning over in Chase County is considered to be destructive. None of the stuff up along this line is in the destructive category. Destructive would be 80 miles per hour. So far they're keeping it down to 7. They canceled the warning?
Yeah, they canceled the warning.
Okay. They've canceled the warning for Morris County. There's no longer a tornado warning there. So what I want to do is look at how they worded this.
And they have a mezzo discussion as well.
A new one?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yep. Okay. They say what the threat is. 75 to 90 mile per hour wind still possible. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so what they're doing now is they've canceled. Did they cancel it earlier or did it expire? I didn't even notice. I think it was 11:15, wasn't it? Okay. They've canceled the tornado warning that was in place near Council Grove. So that's what they've done. We still have winds with these storms that are 70 miles per hour close to it. It could be higher at times. What we're going to do is we're going to end 13.1 on WIBW TV. We're going to continue with the live stream. If we get something that goes back up over 80 or anything rotating, we're going to come back on TV as well. For right now, let's go ahead and end TV. And we'll go back to the live stream, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, all that stuff, and we'll keep on going until this is out of here. We'll break back in on TV frequently with updates as well. Keep it right here. We'll keep you safe and informed. All right. Thanks for staying with us. Mitchell, look at the camera. How much sleep did you get?
I got about 5 to 6 hours.
He's working for Doug this morning. Mitchell's an animal. This is my kind of guy. If you find somebody that'll work as hard as Mitchell, let me know how you found him, because it's a great thing.
Yeah, but I'm just monitoring chat for you.
But you're in. You're not going to complain a word. You're excited to be here and do it. And
I'd be monitoring chat at home if I wasn't. So.
Yes, because we have some similarities, my friend. All right.
We're both insane.
In a good way. In a way that's useful to the community, I hope.
Is that that's a tornado possible tag?
Yeah, the Wichita people have that. All right, so let's check out the view from Emporia now, because that's going to become far more interesting shortly. I'm going to turn off Manhattan and Council Grove because the storm is past. The worst part of the storm is past those areas. If you're in Council Grove, you're still in the wind. I had no doubt about it. When I say it, I'm turning the camera off there because with the wind that strong and the rain that heavy, I'm just not going to be able to see from that camera. But I could see what looked like a funnel cloud that moved over Council Grove. So I'm glad that it's passed, and I hope it doesn't get reissued. But for Council Grove, I really think that you're out of the worst part of the danger. It's going to continue to be windy for you for the next 10 minutes around Council Grove, almost for sure. All right, let's check out the radar again. And, a concern I really have here is something it's great. It's really great that the Weather Service can put this warning out this far in advance and let people know this is coming. But if you're in Topeka or along Highway 75, I mean, you know that there are folks that can't wait a half hour for something, you know. So I mean, if they see a warning going for, you know, oh, where's it at? Why isn't it here yet? You know, the storm's not going to arrive in Topeka still for another 20 minutes or so. It's still a decent way out. Maple Hill, St. Mary's should arrive in the next 5 minutes or so. Alma, probably already in town. And as we check out the radar here, let's see what sort of velocities are showing up on this. These aren't going to be huge like we had earlier. 62. So 62 mile per hour winds showing up in that part of the storm. This is also the same stuff that just moved through Manhattan a few minutes ago and looked stronger than that to me, but that may be the northern part of this. It's in Wamego now. So Wamego has the winds. It's going to be in, I'll say where it's coming first, and I'll show some images here. There's Eskridge, Harveyville should arrive in the next 15 minutes. Allen, Bashong, Admire arriving in the next few minutes. Americus, probably 5 minutes. Emporia, probably 10 minutes. Burlington, this is going to be another half hour or so before it arrives in Burlington. That may be longer than that. Let's loop this. And the distance there from Burlington to the storm, still 30 miles, and it's moving 50 miles per hour. So, I mean, this is going to be a half hour at least before it gets to Burlington. Now, the storm in Chase County, they still have the 80 mile per hour tag on this. So they're still looking at that as being the strongest part of this. But really any part of this line, the Weather Service says that 75 to 90 mile per hour winds are a possibility. Can you guys take the other source again for me? Thank you. What we're going to do is I'm going to drive I-70 virtually here with the candrive.org site. That's east of Highway 99 on I-70. And this is I-70, the Alma exit. And we get to the location just west of 99. That's not awful. That's Deep Creek Road. That is awful. And you can see the streaks going from left to right there across the interstate. I've certainly seen it worse than that, but that's severe wind for sure. This is exit 313 on I-70, and that might be 70 mile per hour winds. I don't think it's worse than that. Now let's go farther to the south here. We'll see what this looks like in Marion County. That's Highway 50 at Florence. Not as bad as it was earlier. And then in Emporia, we're going to have these views from KDOT here as well. I'm going to see if Mike is still chasing this or if he's stopped. Mike stopped. Okay, he's.
Is that area south of Bolin of interest to you?
South of what?
Bolin.
Yes. Yes, for sure. There's the Deep Creek Road again. I want to check out the Flush Road. This is Highway 24 Flush Road. And again, everything along that line is potential to have winds of 75 miles per hour or worse. All right, take me back to the radar, please. So Mitchell's asked me about this area right here. And so I was mentioning earlier with some of the storms, you know, this feature here, that's very similar to what produced that tornado near Holton back on May 18th. It's that kind of look. It's not the classic hook echo in the southwest part of a supercell, but this kind of stuff can produce tornadoes all day and all night. So that's what Mitchell's asking about, and yeah, that's valid. That's a valid thing to wonder, and he's just seeing if I'm paying attention too. You know, did you see this? So yeah, but yes, absolutely. Along this line, again, we're going to see winds of 70 miles per hour that are common. It is a concern to me that it's just so far, and the warning's been issued so far in advance. There's some spots, like I mentioned, like Topeka, Silver Lake. You know, some people get bored before the warning gets there. Not tornado warnings, thankfully, so the instructions aren't, you know, take shelter right now. You just stay inside and away from windows with 70 mile per hour winds. But again, you know, when the storm warning is in advance for 30 minutes, that's great. But it also can lead to people that kind of, where's the storm at? What's going on? All right, I'm going to bring up the camera from Maple Hill. And as I mentioned earlier, I'll bring this up again. Just show you guys again. Manhattan's been looking at strong winds for a long time now. And Manhattan's actually behind the severe storm warnings. But look how strong the wind still is. You know, still gusting at least 40 miles per hour there in Manhattan. It takes a long time for these to really move on. Now we're going to check out the view from Maple Hill, is what I'm trying to bring up now, from the WIBW transmission tower. Is it's going to have a good view across Wabunsee County at a lot of the stuff that's coming in there. And it's not in the storm just yet, but it will be shortly. So that's looking to the west-northwest there. This is to the west-southwest. And we're going to look toward Volland. So there's kind of a lowering there in the direction of Volland. So I don't see funnel cloud or something of that order, but that's an area we're going to keep our eye on for sure. And I really think that thing over Council Grove earlier was almost surely a funnel cloud. It didn't look like it was about to touch down, but the rotation on that and where it was at on the camera looks like we're fortunate that we didn't get a problem there in Council Grove, at least not that I've heard of. You know, maybe it touched down and we don't know. I sure hope not. All right, so moving across Wabunsee County, Pottawatomie County now, you see the strong winds there near Wamego, almost to Bellevue, Paxico, McFarland, Alma is in this. The next few minutes we're going to have it arriving in Maple Hill, and it will get to our transmission site, which is where that camera is. And right now, that circle in the middle, that's the radar itself. So the radar is great. The weakness it has is that it can't see right above itself. As wild as that is, it can see a lot of things, but it can't see up. So just to the west of the radar, looks like the winds are intense again. And it doesn't mean they're necessarily intensifying, but that area blue there, 78 miles per hour. So we probably got winds that are close to 80 miles per hour near Volland right now. And I'm going to turn the radar and look straight south toward that feature that looks like it may be a problem straight south of the radar. So we've got, let's go ahead and check it out on the camera. I'll let you watch the camera with me as I turn it. Okay, I've got it looking almost straight south now. I can't see anything there, even in the lightning. Good. But again, the strong straight line winds are just about to arrive there at the transmission tower. So again, line of severe storms. Nothing with tornado warnings right now, thankfully. But that thing straight south of Alma and straight south of the transmission tower is the highest chance of seeing something with a tornado warning, which means that we could wind up with a tornado warning eventually for Osage County and or Shawnee County. That could happen. So we'll check out the velocity, and I'll show you this spin again. And this is it, right there. Bright red, bright green, kind of circling around each other. That's it. So Eskridge, heads up. If somebody gets told to take shelter, it's going to be Eskridge. Let's watch the camera again. I hear thunder here on the west side of Topeka at the TV station. Not that that's surprising news to anybody, but that's usually what starts waking people up. And then we wind up with a a lot of people on the feeds and the stream whenever lightning starts waking people up in the bigger population centers. All right, let's check out. Let me have the other source again, please. Thank you. Okay, so that's I-70 east of K-99. Not terrible. I-70 at Alma. Not terrible. That's not terrible. Okay. Flush Road, 24. That looks like winds that are probably 70 miles per hour close to it still. Flint Hills, milepost 103. That's Emporia there, and Burlingame Road in Emporia, still dry. All right. All right, give me the other source again, guys, please. Back to the radar. Thank you. All right, tornado warning again. Let's go on TV, please. Please, please. New tornado warning just issued in the last couple of moments here. This is for Lyon County, and that is the rotation right there. And if you're watching us the live stream, I was looking at the Eskridge area and thought that you could have a warning issued any time for a tornado warning. It was a real possibility. And now I've got one just straight north of Emporia that's a tornado warning. So right now, if you're there north of Emporia, Allen, there's that hook right there, straight west of Reading, is in the tornado warning. And that could touch down at any time, as a matter of fact. So if you're there, please take shelter. Let's check out the live view there, looking straight from Emporia to the north. And Emporia is not in the tornado warning. So if you're in Emporia, you're not in danger of this tornado. But you are in danger there of 80 mile per hour winds, or at least close to it, as the storm coming out of Chase County has that kind of potential. Now you can see the winds getting very strong there at the camera, and that's coming in from the northwest. So in Emporia, you are definitely not in the path of the tornado. Now the wind's from the northwest, but the more strong that wind gets, the higher the likelihood is that there could be a tornado actually touching down north of you around Admire. That's a real possibility right now. Go back to the radar here. Again, this tornado warning does include Osage County as well. And we still have some rotation near Eskridge that I was monitoring too, but this is the tornado warning right now. So if you're in Allen and Admire, we've had warnings around you guys before this year. There's the tornado warning right there. That is the rotation that's just to the west of Highway 99, and the location on that is going to be, let's see, give you a mileage on how far it is away from Admire. The rotation there is just about 5 miles south of Admire, or about 10 miles northwest of Reading is where this would be. So if you're in this area, please take shelter right now. There's a potential tornado there moving across the north central part of Lyon County into the northwest part of Osage County. Eskridge, I'm still watching you for this rotation. Not quite as intense, but this thing in Lyon County are really wrapped up fast. And the way I'm seeing the winds there beating up the camera in Emporia, certainly you have severe wind in town in Emporia, but the way it's ripping in from the north and west there really would increase the confidence that this thing is powerful enough to touch down as a tornado there just north of town. So around Admire, I would certainly take shelter right now. You have a tornado warning in place for Admire over to just about Reading. It's 10 miles away from Reading, but it's close enough that certainly be concerned there. There's the warning again. Now the rotation on that is straight southwest of Admire, just a couple of miles, just about to go across the Kansas Turnpike. Reading's in the path of this. Let's look which way it's really going. And let's read the text on it as well, as a matter of fact. So that box going until 11:45 for this tornado warning. Weather Service says southwestern Osage, northeast Lyon, 11:45 p.m. Possible tornado 4 miles south of Allen, moving east at 45 miles per hour. So it's moving pretty fast. And it is Doppler radar estimated. It is not a confirmed tornado at this time. It's Doppler radar that's indicating this. And you can see it there on the debris mode, but I don't see debris. I just see the rotation showing up on this feature. I don't see anything on the debris mode that is suspicious that it could have hit something. But a lot of times when a tornado is in a rural area, it does not necessarily show debris. So around Admire especially, and Allen is south of you. So I don't see a real high chance of it getting up to Allen. I really don't. Take shelter because you're in the warning. You just should. If you're in Admire, probably stay south of you, but I would encourage you to take shelter anyway. If you're in Americus, you're not in the warning. If you're in Reading, take shelter, please. Reading 15 years ago is when we had that F3, hit Reading. Of course, we won't forget, but you're in the tornado warning right now. Up the line, this stuff still has 70-mile-per-hour winds, or at least close to it, going through the Paxico area shortly and up to St. Mary's. Topeka should be in this in the next 20 minutes. This line of severe wind is actually showing some higher values close to the radar that could be as high as 75 or even 80 miles per hour. Let's check out some of the data here. And what do we have? There's an 87 showing up. So we still have some particles that are in the radar there that are moving very, very fast. As I checked out the KDOT cameras a few moments ago, it didn't look to be that extreme, but now it's moved a little bit. The KDOT cameras that I was looking at were really right in this area and weren't quite in this worst of the wind yet, but there may be one a little farther to the west I can catch. So I want to see if we got anything on that. But down the line here, we're getting very close to Highway 99 for the leading edge of this worst wind, and getting into the Eskridge area here with the strong wind as well. And back on the velocity, I think we have severe storm warnings for several areas, obviously. There's a rotation again, still showing up near Eskridge right there. That's been persistent. It's not as tight as the ones to the south, but it's been pretty persistent. So again, tornado warning here for the Admire area. It's about 4.5 miles southwest of Admire, but moving east at 45. So it's probably, let me back up a frame here. Yeah, that radar is giving us 5-minute updates. So it's probably on Highway 99 right now. It's probably crossing the turnpike right at Highway 99 is where that rotation would be right now. It's moving again east at 45 miles per hour, and the radar is set to give us 4 or 5-minute updates there. Down the line, we're actually seeing more areas of spin just south of Emporia as well now. So this is becoming it's been very active, but certainly I could just say things aren't calming down by any means. In Emporia, here's the view again. We've got strong winds in town, a severe storm with winds that are 70 miles per hour close to it. That's how it looks as we look north toward the tornado warning. And to the south, I want to glance that direction because seeing spin that direction as well now, probably impossible to see as we're the definition of rain wrapped if anything's actually in there. All right, so back over to the radar again. And tornado warning continuing for the north central parts of Lyon County and the western parts of Osage County. So the tornado warning right there. And the feature we're looking at on the reflectivity here is this thing that, as I mentioned, is right over the turnpike and Highway 99. That's exactly where it's at right now, and moving toward Reading. So Reading is certainly in the path of this. Osage City, you should be taking shelter right now. Again, they say this is moving 45 miles per hour. So if we take it from the tornado to the northeast, you've got still almost 20 miles away from Osage City. But let's give you a time of arrival. It continues going that way at 45 miles per hour. Be looking at it arriving. Let's see, we've got Osage City 11:47, Burlingame at 11:51 if it went that direction. And we'll turn it a little far to the south, not that way. I'm going to turn the box there. The cone track to the southeast. Take it through Reading. It's going to be a little sooner, about 11:36 if it goes more to the southeast. So Reading, you're certainly the path of this. Osage City, you're in the path of this. Zooming in more close there, we got this close to Road 290. some houses along there. So if you're near Road 290 and T, then you're in the path of potential tornado right now. That's very close to you, and that feature has stayed pretty solid for a few minutes here. It's not just showed up and kind of gone away. And we've got a new radar sweep there coming in. So let's see what it does with it now. It's even closer to Reading. Hey, Reading, take shelter right now. Reading, please. Reading, take shelter. We could have a tornado touchdown with this. If you don't, you're still going to have winds of 70 miles per hour worse. You are in the path of a potential tornado in Reading right now. These storms have been moving mostly southeast, especially the stronger stuff. Reading, you're in danger right now in the town of Reading. You should be taking shelter immediately. If not 10 minutes ago, you need to do it right now. The next frame of radar is going to put this right on top of Reading. Let's go ahead and see the distance there from where the radar was showing it. It's 3-4 miles, and it's moving at 50 miles per hour. So the next frame of radar is going to come in a couple of minutes here, and when it does, it's going to show this thing right on top of Reading.
Yeah, that thing at velocity-wise is basically right at the doorstep.
Okay. Reading, please take shelter right now, guys. There's the spin on this, on the velocity, and as we put this back into motion, you can see it coming just right at Reading. And even if you don't see a tornado, you're still going to see winds that are probably 80 miles per hour, or at least close to it. And the feature that is right there on the radar, that's the suspicious part of this. I'm going to back up in time here. There's 11:26. 2 minutes ago, it's where it was. So right now, it's about 1.5 miles ahead of this. So the radar is updating about every 4 minutes right now. In Reading, you got no time left here. You got 90 seconds until a potential tornado hits. And if you watch me on some streaming devices, maybe 1.5 minutes old data. So if you're, take shelter now, Reading, please, right now. Don't do anything else. Don't grab something. If you're in Reading, you need to just get to shelter right now. No doubt about it. If you are there in Reading, I want you to take shelter right now. You could have potential tornado hitting you right at this moment, especially if you're watching us on a device that's got any kind of lag. And check the time. It's 11:29 is when I'm saying this. So if you're seeing this 11:31, this is already there. So if you're hearing me, take shelter right now in Reading, please, 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 please. There's just, I don't know what else to say here. I just really want you to take shelter. That is potential tornado heading toward the town of Reading right now, and it's not there anymore. It's going to be right about there. Again, the radar is updating every 4 minutes. This is moving close to 50 miles per hour. You're really out of time there. So there's the update, putting it just right in the west side of town. And I hope to goodness that the next update I get does not show any debris flying in this area, because when we hit populated areas, these kind of things, that's when they start showing up if it does touch down. Reading, that's a dangerous situation for you guys. Please take shelter right now. Osage City, the rotation looks like it may stay south of you. You are right on the edge of the tornado warning. Looks like the very western part of town is actually in the tornado warning. At the west of 170 there is in the tornado warning in Osage City. The east side of town, so if you got storm call, if you're in Osage City, you got storm call. If you're west of Highway 170, it would have called you. If you're east of there, it wouldn't have called you because you're not in the warning box. But that's dangerous, right there near Reading, and it's gone for a few frames in a row. It's not just one frame of radar that looks suspicious, it's several in a row, and that's the same storm that had the potential for a tornado back in Council Grove earlier. So it's been rotating for a while, and it's snuck up on Reading here is what it's done. So that's the last frame of radar a couple minutes ago. That's 27. So 3 minutes ago, that's what this radar was. So right now it's in Reading. It's not close, it's in town. If it's a tornado, it's in Reading right now. If you haven't taken shelter yet, you're get down. Wherever you are in Reading right now, just get down where you are. Cover your head, please. Stay away from the windows. I don't know if this is down. I have no confirmation this is down. I hope to goodness it's not down, but that's where it is. It's in town, in Reading right now. All right, I'll check the debris and hope I see nothing. And I'm really kind of watching this, impatiently and hoping to just see nothing, and hoping to get no calls that anything's going on there, and not get an update that this is now confirmed on the ground or something. But Redding, this is right in town right now. The radar shows it being maybe a mile west. It's not. It's on you. All right, up the line, we still have severe storm warnings that include Shawnee County, the southern part of Jackson County, most of Wabunsee County. And this part of the storm, 70-mile-per-hour winds is what they're saying. Near Eskridge, we're getting really a boat. There's a boat that's heading for Harveyville and Burlingame, and Carbondale to Overbrook. Emporia, we're at 11:30, which is just about the time that we timed out this would likely arrive. In Emporia, you've got severe winds for sure. There's a little rotation by Olpe that's not that extreme. But Redding is the most serious thing right now, and I mean, sure, if it's hit Redding, it's already done, most likely. The next frame of radar that comes in is going to show it's either right over or past Redding, but it's not almost there. It's in or past. So we're 11:33 now, going back in time. This radar updated at 11:27. So this is a 6-minute-old image right there. And that's how the weather service is sometimes with the radar. Depends on what mode they have it on. But that's a 6-minute-long sweep to get there. Still seeing a hook right there, that shape that's right over just south of Redding at this point. Again, it was moving southeast. So that's the new frame of radar that just came in. And this is where I'm going to hope I don't see debris. I don't. If I saw what I would be looking for, if I saw one of these dark blue colors, something like this, or a bright yellow, if I saw anything this color, that color over Redding, that'd be very upsetting, I would say right now. So I'm hoping this had not touched down around Redding. I'm hoping it's a scary looking funnel cloud that just went over Redding and it's just raining really hard and windy. That's what I hope. So the radar doesn't show anything on the correlation coefficient that I think would be debris. So in Redding, stay in shelter for a couple more minutes, and then we can all kind of take a breath together that this is not touched down or gone around you. I really hope that this is not touched down in or near Redding, guys. All right, I'm going to check out the camera from Maple Hill again. And the storm has now reached the tower there, the WIBW transmission tower. There's the tower itself. So now that it's raining like that there, I can't really see what's going on. In Manhattan, interestingly enough, my camera got turned around. I'm not quite sure if maybe the power went out there or something, but that's not going to be something that interests you guys right now. Obviously, just something I just noticed, and I kind of think out loud sometimes. You may have noticed that.
Yeah, in Manhattan, the 3-hour rainfall is around 5 inches, I'm pretty sure. Shows.
Oh, my. All right, so again, this tornado warning is there for Osage County and the eastern part of Lyon County, and it goes for a few more minutes here. It goes for 10 more minutes. In Topeka, we still have the severe storm warning that goes until midnight, and the storm hasn't arrived in the capital city yet. So just an interesting thing there, the way these work. But again, that tornado warning continuing for the eastern part of Lyon County and over into Osage County for the next few minutes. And so far, I don't have any confirmation of it down. Can you guys take the other source for me again, please? So this is I-70 near K-99 as we get the severe wind finally starting to get to that area near Alma. This is I-70 at the Alma exit. And a lot of times I'll point the cameras down to see if there's hail or if there's, what's going on. Just looking down kind of gives them a different perspective. So that's why it's pointed down toward the ground there. But east of K-99, you can see the severe wind is now getting into the middle of Wabunsee County, whereas Auburn Road is not a problem just yet. But Topeka, this is likely to arrive. It's just taking a long time to get into the capital city. Bring it back over the radar, please. Thank you, Bridge. Okay, so the leading edge of the damaging winds, just about to Maple Hill now, getting to Paxico. And then down here, this part, this bow segment that is right there north of the tornado warning, that could be winds that are particularly strong. I'll draw the bow on here. This is a bowing segment right there. And we were showing that on the radar on the computer models before and saying areas like that could have the stronger winds. So that could be ripping up toward Auburn, ultimately Topeka, at least the south side of town, over to Wakarusa, the Forbes Field area, Lake Shawnee. We'll see. But that part of the storm looks particularly strong with that bow. This part still has a tornado warning for a couple of more minutes, going for about 8 more minutes here. So Osage City, you should still be taking shelter for 8 more minutes. The rotation is well south of Osage City. So most likely this will not get close to Osage City. It's going to stay south of you. But the strong winds will make it into Osage City. Over to Olivet, you're going to see strong winds moving in shortly. Linden, you'll see the strong winds moving in a few minutes here. Melbourne too. Lebo, you have strong winds that are moving in your direction. Okay, I want to see the other source again, guys, please. Thank you. And what I'm going to do is go down here to Emporia and look how bad the winds are here along the interstate. That's I-35 at Burlingame. This is I-35 at mile marker 135. Go ahead.
Tornado warning for southwestern Osage and northeastern Loudoun counties will expire at 11:45.
Thank you. Okay, so what I'm seeing there along I-35, these winds are certainly over 60. I'm not sure if it's 70, but I don't think it's worse than that. So it's severe, no doubt. All right, bring me back to the radar, please. Thank you, guys. So what the Weather Service has said here is they're going to let this tornado warning expire at 11:45. So at that point, we'll go back to 13.1. I'm not sure what programming is on this time of night on 13.1. Now, a concern I do have is over here, and that's where we're seeing these dark blue areas or bright blue areas along I-75 or I-70. And this is where the wind looks like it's really intensifying. We've got some numbers in there that were north of 70 for a while. Now they're closer to 60. There's a 73. So and if I just fish through and find the highest value, you know, that doesn't mean the whole thing is 73 miles per hour. It may be just one that doesn't line up with the rest of the stuff. So if I'm fishing through, find the highest value, then that it is what it is. But we're still seeing some really high numbers on the east side of the radar. There's a couple of targets in there in the middle of Wabunsee County to the east that are triple digits on the radar on the velocity. And they're kind of splotchy, but those areas of orange, you know, or we'll see. It looked strong coming into the radar. It looks strong going out of the radar. Okay. But it's also getting higher from the radar the farther out you look. Okay. So what I'm going to look at right now is it's a boring shot, but I'll explain to you why I'm looking at this. This is the shot of the WIBW transmission tower, and I just want to see what it looks like there. Does it look like a hurricane or a severe storm? So the transmission tower is just south of Maple Hill, which should be awfully close to the middle of that really wild-looking wind that's showing up on the radar. But if we had 100-mile-per-hour winds there or something close to it, then that shot would look just ridiculous. It wouldn't look reasonable at all. So, and what I'm seeing there on the radar is the worst of that wind should be right on the transmission tower if in fact it's that nasty. Now I have no doubt that it's something 70 miles per hour or worse, but I do not think that it's that higher value that the radar is kicking out. So again, for folks like for in Topeka, we've got this severe storm warning going until midnight, which is 18 minutes from now. And amazingly enough, it may not be storming yet. So sometimes the warning goes out a little farther than it maybe should, but they're doing the best they can do. Here's the winds at the transmission tower, which is right there. And no doubt this is at least 60 miles per hour. I can't tell if it's some high value. It doesn't have that hurricane look to me, but the radar, some of the particles and the velocity were showing much higher numbers that certainly would worry us as it comes into the population center here. So no doubt Topeka is just about to get some strong straight line winds. So my question here is it something like 70 miles per hour? Is it something that's something like race car speed? All right, so the Weather Service is going to let this warning expire in 2 minutes, and I can tell you that the rotation of that has even outrun the tornado warning. The spin there is near Olivet at this point, so the tornado warning for Osage County is expiring in just about 90 seconds here. Osage City, you can come out of shelter now. Redding, you can come out of shelter now. Linden, Melbourne, kind of heads up. And Topeka heads up, it's going to get windy here very shortly. All right, let's go ahead and put 13.1 back to 13.1. Let's continue on the live stream on WIBW.com, Facebook, YouTube, and all that. Thanks for staying with us. We'll break back in on TV frequently with updates, but we'll continue the live stream now. Thanks for staying with us. We'll keep you safe and informed.
There's water being reported over roads in Abilene.
Okay.
And also multiple roofs gone in Ottawa County. And there was that report also in Salina earlier.
Okay. Is your mic still on?
No, it's off.
Go ahead and turn it on and just say that.
Say it?
Yeah. Wait, tell me. Go ahead. Is your mic, they can hear your mic?
Yeah. So we're getting some reports of water over roads in Abilene, and we are also getting reports of some roofs off and some trees, quote unquote, crushing houses out in Ottawa County. We also received reports earlier in Salina of a lot of damage, including train signals down. I saw a photo like that of a train signal snapped in half in Salina from the 110 mile per hour winds. So a lot going on, and we're still not out of the clear yet, as this line is still moving across much of the central part of our DMA viewing area. Topeka, Osage City, Melbourne, all the way down to New Strawn and Burlington. Y'all have still yet to see this line of storms. So I'll hand it back to Jeremy.
All right, thank you, Mitchell. Have you had a chance to look at the audience images, see if things come in?
Nothing in.
Okay. Does K-Witch have anything interesting?
I checked earlier and they didn't have anything.
Okay. All right, so Salina had a report at 9:22 p.m. of a wind gust of 113 miles per hour. That was the highest number that I saw. And it wasn't just one report. So sometimes you get a funky number like that and maybe it didn't happen. But in this case, it said 103, and the next one was 113, and then it tapered off. So, if you get a value that ramps up and then comes back down, it's more credible. Now we're getting damage reports, which is not surprising. And then the video we saw earlier from Harrington, from Mike when he was storm chasing, it's pretty obvious that the winds were powerful. I don't think they were 100 miles per hour around Harrington, but they were certainly over 80. And
this was what I was talking about.
That's wild.
Yeah, obviously we can't show that, but
No, but it's just information that a railroad sign was broken, like
snapped.
That's not a common damage indicator. That's really unusual. Okay, so what's worrying me here now is this stuff in the eastern part of Wabunsee County. It's showing 93 miles, 94 miles per hour. So,
We just can't catch a break with severe weather this season.
well, just if we get 90s coming into the city, that's, the disaster there is
Yeah.
So there's the view now from the transmission tower, and this is stronger than it was earlier. And that's awfully close to where these wild values are showing up. So can I say that's 90 miles per hour? I really don't know. What do you got? Okay.
I don't know if that affects your decisions, but
Sometimes. I don't know what's on our station right now. What should be on right now? Do you even know? I don't know.
It looks like it's a game show.
Okay. All right, so again, that's the view from the our transmission tower, which is kind of in the middle of what looks like the wild winds, if in fact it's as high as the radar is indicating, which is certainly possible. And
That new talk show that guy's paying for to be on.
I don't know what that is. Huh?
It's that new talk show that guy's paying for to be on. Comics Unleashed.
Oh. Okay. Interesting. All right. All right, so let's get the
just extended that severe thunderstorm warning out.
farther to the east.
Yes.
Okay.
Now includes, I think, Douglas.
So we got that in position. Let's get the downtown camera pointed around.
Yeah, and that line's entering Auburn now.
Okay.
Over. So
I have this gut feeling it's going to wind up getting kicked up to a damaging in a moment here. Once somebody in Topeka winds up with a wind gust that's 80 miles per hour. That's just a gut feeling I've kind of got. Definitely doesn't mean I'm correct about that, but
will we go on air before it gets into Topeka?
well, yeah, we'll go back, but nothing down there to see. There are KDOT cameras along 470. Okay. Okay. It looks like it's coming into town from the southwest more than straight from the west. Velocity, okay. All right, folks, so around Melbourne, we still have rotation showing up on this. I'm kind of going back and forth, setting up some things here. So I have a feeling we're going to wind up on TV for a long period of time, most likely. So just bear with us, but the storms remain. Let's see, 470 south of Gage. That's a good camera. Trying to find stuff that shows it coming in here into the city. It's kind of the better looks I can get. Okay, so on the radar here, these bright areas of red to Auburn now. That's where the strong straight line winds begin. Our tower camera, the WIBW transmission tower, is right about there. So if in fact the strong winds that are showing up on the radar are a real thing, then we'd be looking at it right here on our live transmission from the transmission tower. And I just can't tell, and that image is actually frozen, or the light would be flashing. So, you know, it may be getting a beating right now.
Yeah, we're getting interference.
We are?
Yeah. Or we were getting some.
Okay. So that image is frozen now.
Lots of lightning from Meninger Hill.
I do see that. I don't dig that the camera just stopped working over there on the tower.
It did?
Yeah, the red light just stayed on,
Oh.
which they don't do. I'll reload it and see if it comes back on. And now it's gone to black. That's Emporia. Yeah, the camera on the transmission tower is bye-bye. Okay. Council Grove gusting 73 now. That's behind the storms. The Weather Service saying anything interesting?
No, not right now.
Thank you. I do know we're still live streaming, y'all, if you're still watching this here. I'm just monitoring this to see if I get anything here that looks higher end than 60 miles per hour. That's near, I'm watching the KDOT cameras. What I'm doing. Go ahead and bring up the KDOT cameras to me, guys, please. Here we go, source. Thank you. So I'm looking along 470, which looks like where the stuff is coming in more from the southwest. There's 470 at Gage. That is not here. That's 470 at Gage, which doesn't look that rough at the moment. All right, give me the radar again. Yeah, the source, please. Thank you. Velocity here, okay. And those indentations now moving into the southwest part of town, okay. All right, Bridge, let's go ahead and go on TV with this, please. All right, we have a line of severe storms still moving through the area right now, and we're live streaming, of course, for several hours on WIBW.com, Facebook Live, YouTube, and all that. We're going to stay on TV here for a while with this. There are a couple different areas of rotation that concern me, and I'm also concerned as we get in the population center here, we may get some confirmation that these winds are stronger than we're hoping. Right there on the radar, just north of Auburn, just southwest of 470, there's a rotation now showing up on the radar. This is going to be maybe 5 miles southwest of where Wanamaker and 470 meet up, kind of that side of town, is where that spin would be in this. So I'm not saying tornado, but I am saying that we've had several things spinning tonight that resulted in tornado warnings, and we've got to continue to watch this stuff. That's the kind of thing that can produce tornadoes. Now, down the line, we've got Wakarusa, the strong straight line winds just beginning, Carbondale, Scranton, Burlingame, these strong straight line winds, probably 60, 70 miles per hour, most likely lasting for 10, 15 minutes before stopping. Olivet, strong winds, just getting in Melbourne now, right along through Melbourne to Waverly, almost to Waverly, and then down to New Strawn. Burlington's almost into the strong winds. And Emporia starting to calm down. Council Grove just had a 73 mile per hour wind gust a few minutes ago behind the heaviest of the rain. So right now we have severe storm warnings for lots of counties. Go ahead.
Your son's calling you, by the way.
Should ignoring it,
Okay.
please. He's fine. So we have a severe storm warning there that includes Osage County, Shawnee, Douglas, going until 12:45. Now, the original warning for Shawnee County went till midnight. The storm took a long time to get into town. Now it's moving in. Again, 70 mile per hour winds and maybe a bit worse. Farther down to the south, we have this other warning here. This goes till 12:45. Osage County, same warning, is in this one. So again, 70 mile per hour winds is what they're mentioning with a lot of this. Down the south near Gridley, that could be a rotation. This area right here, that's suspicious. That's the kind of stuff you can get tornado warnings out of. So looking back up here to the north, we've got the severe storm now getting into the capital city. And we'll check out the view here. There's one. I'll load both of these in real fast here, and then they'll be with me the whole time. All right, so we'll check out the view here from Menninger Hill. It's on the northwest side of town, and the heavy rain's begun at the TV station, but it's not extreme from what I hear out there. You know what I'm seeing out there and hearing right now.
And that just hit right out back.
Okay, so we're good.
Thankfully, no power hit. That hit it in the field over there by the Kansas History Museum.
So again, we had a wind gust of 73 miles per hour at Council Grove not that long ago. Downtown Topeka, the heavy rain has not begun yet. And where we're at here on the west side of town, that's not 70, 80 mile per hour winds out there. So it's not, the worst of it's not into the west side of town yet. I'm going to check out the velocity here and see what we've got. So it looks like the stronger winds were still lagging behind the leading edge of the rain. So there's the heavy precipitation. Now checking the velocity again here. The strongest winds are still a couple of miles southwest of the TV station, southwest of 470. And again, the suspicious rotation right about there is the one that I've really got concerns about. So that is located very close to J. Scheidler Elementary is where it is, and just southwest of Clarion Woods Park, right on Wanamaker and 37th. I just did a story about this. This is between 37th and 41st. That's the path of the Topeka tornado. It's just the irony there is unbelievable. But I'm not saying it's a tornado. I'm just saying it's a rotation, and the winds are showing up very strong behind that. This area around Auburn, these winds are surely 70 miles per hour close to it. And I want to see what the radar is showing there. We had some indications that the numbers could be very high through there. So the winds showing 87 miles per hour, which is up off the ground. It's a couple thousand feet up, but it's not out of the question. Now, that rotation concerns me a lot, again. So that is to the southwest of 470. And I'm not yelling tornado here, but I am yelling out, hey, I'm watching this super close because it does concern me. So close to Jay Scheidler, close to the Walgreens on Wanamaker and 37th. That's where you're looking at there. Kind of close to the, my goodness.
Yeah, we just took a power hit.
Are we out?
No, we're still, are we on?
I mean, I saw that. I mean, the TV station, if you're watching this here, the TV, there's
Yeah, we're on.
TV station's right about there. I mean, the lightning really just saw that strike on TV. That's just really outside. So apparently we're getting closer to the TV station with lightning strikes. But I am watching that direction to see if that suspicious rotation is actually a problem or not.
We
But,
are on though, so that's good.
That's amazing. That strike was on the shot. You saw it hit the field on the shot there, truly.
Oh, I need to go back and clip that.
I just blown away. I mean, I never had one like that on air. That was kind of shocking. All right, so shocking. I'm not trying to do puns here. I wouldn't be good at it if I tried to do it. Okay, so there's the strongest of the straight line winds. They're really just about to the southwest side, well, just about to 470 here. And we're going to see 70 mile per hour winds or worse in the city. That suspicious spin still right there. If somebody gets told to take shelter, it's going to be us. And folks close to 20th Wanamaker, that's really where this is kind of getting to. So,
Is that hail?
if it is hail, it's small.
Like
It might
pea
be.
size?
Hmm?
Like pea size?
Yeah, it's not super big if it is. All right, I'm going to check out the other. Can I check out the other source, guys? Please, thank you. So we're going to check out the videos here from KDOT. That is 470 south of Gage. We're going to check out Auburn Road, just to the west of the station here, and it doesn't look like it's working. That is just outside the station. That's probably 50, 60 mile per hour winds. That's not worse than that here at the station. Now that rotation that I was watching that's suspicious on the radar, it's going to be farther down 470 here. I don't see any wild winds, thankfully. Okay, take me back to the radar, guys, please. Thank you. But there are several areas of the winds here certainly could top 70 miles per hour. In these orange areas, the wind's going to be stronger. So right there, we've got the wind very close to West Lawn Memorial Gardens, and there's Auburn Road here on at 470. That's where that camera was I showed us a moment ago. The wind's aloft, the wind a couple thousand feet up or so, or probably 80 miles per hour worse. So we'll see if that gets down, but that's coming into the west side of town right now. Right along 470 is where the strongest of the wind should be now, and then getting right across the middle of the city here shortly as well. All right, down the line here, let's see who else has got stuff. We've got the strong winds getting into Pomona, and Overbrook's got it now. Clinton Lake just about to get strong straight line winds. And Williamsburg to Waverly. New Straw and Burlington. The winds are very strong in Burlington right now. Probably 60, 70 miles per hour. Southwest of Burlington near Gridley. This is the closest thing to a rotation showing up on to the south. That's the thing that had the tornado warning earlier around Reading, and earlier before that around Council Grove and produced 80-mile-per-hour winds near Harrington earlier. So that's what's moving through Gridley right now. Another rotation. It's not a tornado warning. There's a tornado warning. Okay, we're on TV, thankfully. There we go. Tornado warning just issued. Right there, very close to Lake Shawnee is where this one's going to be. So this is Doppler radar indicated, but now we have a tornado warning in Shawnee County, and they're going with this one right there, that rotation. And that is awfully close to Lake Shawnee, I believe. Lake Shawnee, a little northwest of there, actually. So what streets are we close to here? Going to be at 77th and Ratner Road is where this is. So tornado warning now in Shawnee County. The rotation is showing up right there on the radar and moving to the northeast. So that's going to be moving into Clinton Lake area, toward Perry and Lecompton. Lawrence is in the tornado warning. So if you're in Topeka, the tornado warning doesn't include most of us. It's over here near Ratner Road and 77th Road is where it is. I'm moving northeast. Tecumseh, I think it's just barely covers Tecumseh. But again, I mean, there'll be a lot of people in Topeka right now whose weather radio or apps are screeching saying tornado warning. So I was concerned about the rotation farther up the line over here, and they dropped the tornado warning over here farther to the southeast. Let me just read the exact text on this. That's a really odd-shaped warning. All right. Weather Service says, southern Jefferson, southeast Shawnee, Douglas County. Tornado possible 4 miles northwest of Globe, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. Okay? So 4 miles northwest of Globe is going to be in, I believe that's in Douglas County. But the rotation there is certainly east of Topeka. I see two different rotations on that. Yeah.
It's kind of like a twin-like rotation.
And now we're getting windy outside for sure. All right, take me over to the other source, please, guys. All right, so that's 470 at gauge. And right here, and this is what's kind of whipping across the city now. Probably 60-mile-per-hour winds. I don't think it's worse than that from that look. That's near Wanamaker. Okay, go ahead and take the radar again, please. So there's two different rotations here, and either one of these could produce a tornado. So the one is near 77th Ratner Road, where I saw this right about there, and the other is this.
Just south of 70.
That. So either one of those could produce a tornado, and they're both moving to the northeast. Now in this we have strong straight line winds as well, covering the city, and then moving into parts of Franklin and Anderson counties now. To the south, Burlington, Gridley, Leroy, New Strawn. This is strong straight line winds. But there's some rotation showing up just southeast of Gridley, moving away from Gridley now.
And NWS confirmed your hunch.
Which hunch?
The two areas of rotation.
Thank you. All right, so we've got two different rotations there. One just almost over Clinton Lake right now. And moving as fast as it is, it's probably really over Clinton Lake at this point. The other one's just almost to I-70, just to the south of Tecumseh. So Tecumseh, you should be taking shelter right now. The rotation is probably going to stay southeast of you. Really, this is it right about there. But folks in Perry and south end of Lake Perry and Lecompton, you guys should be taking shelter for sure.
Some strong winds also heading into the downtown area of Topeka.
In Topeka?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so here's a live look. We'll check out the view from the Cyrus Hotel downtown, where we have strong straight line winds that are coming across the city now. Most Topeka, I think probably just about everybody's awake now, but that's the view downtown, where the straight line winds are just almost there. Now here on the west side of town, from Menninger Hill. You see the winds are quite a bit stronger than they are there. They've got that kind of hurricane look, but this is more than 100 feet up off the ground, so you can really see how strong the winds are just above the surface. And again, our radar was showing, the velocity showing the winds could be 80, maybe 90 miles per hour, 1,000 feet up. But down at the surface, it's not quite as bad, I don't think, but it's certainly strong. So on the radar, I just got the rotation on the whole back of the system here, kind of the north end of a bookend here. So this is a lot like what the computer models were showing. And you can see just west of Topeka into Wabunsee County here, kind of the whole thing spinning here as that moves toward Topeka. So it's going to be very windy for a while here, and it's not a question to have another tornado warning with this. This stuff moving across Franklin County into Anderson County has strong straight line winds down to the New Strawn area in Burlington. I don't see rotation down here anymore. The stuff near Gridley did have rotation, but the strong straight line winds still really pounding those areas. Now this is the area of strongest rotation we see in the tornado warning right there. The south end of Clinton Lake is in this. And as we pan out a bit, the rotation in the northern part is not as impressive as it was. But just southeast of Tecumseh, moving across I-70 is the most dangerous part of that. And all across Topeka, certainly heavy rain and a lot of wind that's waking up, probably 100,000 people right now. They're, wondering what's going on. So there's still a severe storm warning for most folks from Topeka down to Burlington. We have 70 mile per hour winds possible, and that severe storm warning goes until, is it 12:30 for Jefferson, Douglas, and Shawnee counties, or in one of the tornadoes. Go ahead.
Just by the way, Highway 24 from XL Road to Lake Elbow Road is underwater in Manhattan.
Wow, okay.
As they've had like 3 or 4 or 5 inches of rain in the past 3 hours.
That's amazing. All right. So again, tornado warning continuing for the eastern part of Shawnee County over into Douglas County.
Oh.
And now we're getting some wild wind here for sure. Go ahead and take up the other source if you guys will, please, again. There we go. Oh my, you can hear it out there now. So winds here at the station, no doubt they're over 70 miles per hour. Yeah, we're definitely gusting over 70 here. There's a live look just east of Wanamaker, looking to the east at the strong straight line winds on this side of town. There's man, look at that image of I-470 in Gage. This is 470 south of Gage. And let's check out these cameras that are kind of higher elevation here. Oh, the wild wind hasn't quite gotten, now you can see it right there in the middle of that. You can see the strong wind starting to kick up there. But yeah, we're gusting easily over 70 here at the TV station as well. All right, back to the radar, please. So again, most of the areas most of the folks that are waking up to the wind and the lightning right now, the winds are 70 miles per hour close to it for many folks. Down the south near Burlington, I'm going to check this velocity and see if there's any spin on this. I don't see anything. I do see the winds are 70 miles per hour close to it. And we're still getting power hits here at the station. With the stronger winds, if we get knocked off here, then we'll continue streaming any way we can. But we're getting a lot of wind on the side of town, and I can hear clicks outside, or clicks in here.
Yeah, it's coming sideways outside. Here's a...
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Do you know how to turn that one off?
No. I'll get the...
All right. It's a UPS behind that TV right there is what it is. All right. So that noise is not a problem for you at home. That noise is a device in the studio here that just took a power hit. So Clinton Lake is in the greatest danger of a tornado right now. City of Lawrence, this could head your way. Right there. That's this. and that's going to be moving to the northeast. So you are in the path of this. In Topeka, so far its winds are gusting around 70 miles per hour. I got it. I'm not sure if I shut down something critical or not, but I got it to stop squealing. All right. So there's your rotation, heading toward Lawrence. If you're in Lawrence, you should be taking shelter right now. If it's a tornado there, it's not a big tornado, but Lawrence, you have potential tornado heading your way. The rotation on this, right about there. It's been pretty persistent. So at a minimum, you get strong straight line winds. So we encourage you to stay inside. I would take shelter in Lawrence right now. Down the line here, there's a rotation near Princeton. Not a tornado warning, it's a severe storm. And then down into the Westphalia area, down to Yates Center, all that stuff has severe wind with it. The 70 miles per hour may be worse in some spots. Check out the latest winds, latest wind reports we've got here. Again, earlier in the evening, we had Salina with a wind gust to 113 miles per hour. That's unreal. And they have damage. Just had the report from Mitchell just told us a minute ago that parts of Highway 24 in Manhattan are underwater. They've had more than 5 inches of rain today. And I would say that that's not going to be an isolated thing. I think there's going to be other places with problems. We're getting all kinds of power hits here now. Are we still on TV? Okay, I think we are. All right, so the tornado warning is the most dangerous thing we have for sure. And that's really in Douglas County now. I'm not sure if the corner that still goes into, I think it still goes in the eastern part of Shawnee County, but the rotation of this, there was rotation close to Tecumseh that looks like it's not as exciting as it was. And it was moving toward Lake Perry. But it is not as impressive as it was a few moments ago. Still, Lake Perry, the town of Perry, the town of Lecompton, I would encourage you guys to take shelter. That tornado warning goes until 12:30, it's 10 minutes away. In Lawrence, the rotation here is right there. Just about to cross over K10 is where that is. So that's moving into Lawrence here in the next couple of minutes. So if you're in Lawrence, you should be taking shelter right now as that moves your way. Now the back part of this, extremely heavy rain, a lot of wind with this, and you can even see, if you just watch this around Dover, you can see this all kind of spinning. What you've got is a bookend here on this. Now watch in the middle of this. The middle part of the storm is outrunning the other parts of it. So the top part of it's kind of spinning around itself. So this is something the computer models were showing, is these bow segments like this. Sometimes you get what are called bookend vortices that produce tornadoes, and that's what we've got here is this rotation near Lawrence, but also this whole spin on the back side of this back into the Dover area over to Maple Hill. Still very windy and extremely heavy rain being squeezed out of this. More storms developing near Council Grove over to Harrington right now. I'm not sure if those will become severe or not, but certainly this is really showing itself now with the bow echo, the classic. The seahorse? You sent me the computer model of that earlier.
It's matching up perfectly.
Amazingly, it is. Yeah, it is shaped like a seahorse. Mitchell sent me a picture of a computer model about 12 hours ago. It looked exactly like this. The computer model in reality.
Generational run this season.
Yeah. So the velocity on that again, Lawrence, you should be taking shelter now. That rotation right about there, it's about to go across Highway 10. Now back up in time here and see if we're still getting updates, because we've had so many power hits. Yeah, that radar image is a couple of minutes old. 16 6 minutes. That image is 6 minutes old. There, it updated. Good. No, it didn't. Lawrence, if there's a tornado in this, it's in Lawrence right now. If there is, it's in Lawrence. Lecompton, if it's a tornado, it's really close to you. The town of Perry, you guys should be taking shelter right now. If there's a tornado, it's right on you. Okay, we may have an update there from the Weather Service. I think they cropped some off. Yes, they did. Let's read this. Right now, 11:22. Tornado warning in effect till 12:30. Capable of producing tornado located over southeastern Lawrence, moving northeast 55 miles per hour. Okay.
I got a burnt wire smell outside.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So the potential tornado they're saying is over the southeast part of Lawrence. That's where they see it. And they didn't mention the northwest part of rotation, but they're also not taking that part out of the tornado warning, which is a wise thing to do, is to leave it there. So there's the update on the radar. Potential tornado right about there, the southeast side of Lawrence. So that's where it is. It would have crossed K10 now, and it's going to go around KU, not hit the university, but the southeast part of town. And it's a very similar path to, I think, 2019, when the big one went through there, but it's not like that. It's just the same path. So southeast part of Lawrence is where we have potential tornado. If you're in Lawrence, you should be taking shelter, but if you're in the southeast part of Lawrence, that's where the greatest danger exists right now, is the southeast part of town. They did not take the corner of Shawnee County or Jefferson County out of this. So Perry, the south part of Lake Perry, Lecompton, still in the tornado warning right now. And the rotation there is not close to as intense as it was. All right. Take you to the source from you guys, please. Thank you. There's 70 at Wanamaker, and look at how full the ditch is over here with the extreme rain coming down. And it's not even close to done. Again, we have flash flooding over in Manhattan, where Mitchell said that the Highway 24 is underwater in some spots. There you can really see the wind there. This has that hurricane look. I-70 at Gage. That's the tower there at the Highway Patrol station there. This is looking to the east from that same tower. And down lower, I-70 at Gage. So extreme winds. Certainly 70 miles per hour close to it, and a lot of parts of Topeka right now. And this is 75 at 24. And we'll check out the view right there at the north end of the Westgate Bridge. So, all right, back on the radar, guys, please.
And we're not out of the woods yet, just by the look of base activity.
From extreme rain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And wind, honestly.
Right. So the severe storm warning continuing until 12:45 for Osage, Shawnee, Douglas, Franklin, and 70 mile per hour winds, what they're saying here. Also extremely heavy rain, obviously. Down to the south, you've got Coffee County, and this warning as well. I think it was running out of space there for it to say it. But to south in Coffee County, you're in the severe storm warning as well, with the potential of winds up to 70 miles per hour. Although it should start to calm down shortly for Coffee County. While the north side of this and Shawnee is still in this area of heavy precipitation and spin in the atmosphere there. All right, so the potential tornadoes over the southeast side of Lawrence is where it would be if there is a tornado. But it looks like it's going to move into Tonganoxie and toward Sherman will be in the path of this. Eudora should be taking shelter right now. So again, the tornado warning continuing there for the eastern part of Shawnee County, Jefferson County, Douglas County, going for a couple more minutes here, 3 more minutes actually. And there's still more areas of spin in this, truly. This thing that's just east of, really just right by where the toll booths are on the east side of town, where there were toll booths, I mean. Where 470 and I-70 grouped together on the east side of town. There's still a spin there. But strong winds all across the city still. All right, so, and I'm just watching this, as Mitchell was mentioning, we had the flash flooding issue over there in Manhattan, and I have no doubt that there's other areas of flash flooding. Let's check out the flash flood warnings we have here and some of the worst of this. So there's a flash flood warning for Shawnee County already. So what do we got? For Dickinson County, 3 to 6 inches of rain, flash flood warning. We've got Gary, Pottawatomie, Riley counties. They say 6 inches of rain have fallen. Got Shawnee County, Pottawatomie, Wabunsee, and parts of Riley. They say 3.5 inches of rain, another 2 inches of rain are possible. So this is a widespread flash flooding event too. Are we still on TV or not?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Okay, so it looks like they are going to let this tornado warning expire at 12:30. And most of our computers are still on. Okay. Take the source again for me, please. We're going to go back to programming in just a moment here. All right, so the tornado warning is expiring in just a moment here. That is for the corner of Shawnee County and Douglas County and a big part of the southern part of Jefferson. That's how it looks outside the TV station right now on Wanamaker, or just west of Wanamaker on I-70. So that's the kind of wind we have ripping through the city. So this is going to go on for a while. And there's another view on I-70, and you can see how high the water is there in the ditch. So this is going to certainly cause more flash flooding in the city. We have part of Highway 24 is underwater. I don't know all the things that are flooded right now. I just don't know. But from what I see, how saturated everything is right now, and how we still have an extreme amount of rain coming into the city, we're going to have some flash flooding problems here tonight. If you've got to be on the road anywhere, use an extreme amount of caution tonight, as there are going to be some roads underwater, no doubt. There's K10 at Wakarusa over in Lawrence. That's K10 east of Michigan, extreme rain falling there. I'm going to go over to Manhattan here. See what we got there on a K18. It's like the rain's at least stopped. It's not as heavy as it was by any means. But we have flash flooding in a lot of places. So the best advice is, if you don't have to be on the roads tonight, stay off the roads. And if you do have to be on the roads, please don't drive through flood water. Go ahead and take the radar again, please. Bridge, go ahead and take the radar again. Thank you. If you have to be on the roads, don't drive through flood water. Driving through flood water at night costs more lives every year than tornadoes on average. Just people driving into flood water, they didn't see it. Flash flooding every year takes more lives than tornadoes do. And at night, in a car, when you can't see what's going on in front of you, is the most dangerous of that.
And that's why we say turn around, don't drown.
Yes. Turn around, don't drown. It just sounds almost, it's so simple, it's almost silly, but it truly
sounds
can save your
almost
life.
childish, but
Yeah.
even a child can understand. Don't play in the floodwaters.
Yeah. But it's great advice, and it really can save your life. So again, this is now showing itself. We're seeing the bow echo there, and the strong straight line winds all showing up in this. And the thing that's going on now is we got this vortex moving over Shawnee County. It's going to just squeeze even more rain out of this. So from Topeka to Lawrence, we could see another 2-4 inches of rain. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Down the south, Burlington, things are going to start calming down. New Strawn, things start calming down. Over to Ottawa, things will start calming down shortly here. But Topeka to Lecompton to Lawrence, this is going to stay very windy with extremely heavy rain for another hour or so. All right, let's go ahead and break off of 13.1. We'll continue on the live stream, please. So the tornado warning has been canceled. We'll come back on TV with updates as well. We'll continue the live stream at WIBW.com, WIBW Plus, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, all that stuff. Thanks for staying with us. We'll keep you safe and informed all night. All right, thanks for staying with us on the live stream. You gonna say something?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Just a crazy shaped complex of storms.
Yeah. Really is.
I'm glad we didn't get it at this shape with supercells out in front of it.
Yeah.
We're very lucky that we didn't get it at this form because it's moving west to east, and if we had that shear coming from the south, you'd see supercells just by itself. Instead, we got that one big supercell out in front of it, but it got swallowed up by this line.
This has so much energy. There's still tornado warnings in Colorado.
At 12 o'clock in the, yeah.
Yeah, this is a really wild storm. So for folks, just truly, the tornado threat now is probably gone for northeast Kansas, at least the WIBW viewing area. What exists now is still these strong winds. And we have all these flash flood warnings. And the flash flooding for Topeka and Lawrence is about to get worse. I'm sure of that. And as Mitchell was mentioning a while ago, part of Highway 24 in Manhattan underwater is a big deal. That does not happen very often. But that's just the one report that I can think of right now. So there's a lot of places that are underwater right now, a lot of roads that will be. So please don't drive through flood water. That's the biggest danger to somebody's life right now here in northeast Kansas is don't drive through flood water. If you've got friends or family that have to work, 2, 3 in the morning, some people do go to work late and work weird hours, like, you don't want them driving through something and getting hurt. So
like me this week.
Like Mitchell this week. So that's the biggest danger to somebody's life right now is driving through flood water, and it's not even close. I mean, that's the biggest danger to somebody's life right now by far.
And unfortunately, this is just the first of 3 potential rounds of storms this week to start out the week.
Right.
We have a slight 2 out of 5 risk over the next 2 days for parts of our area.
And today was even a slight yesterday?
No. Yeah, no. Yes, it was. It uptrended big time around noon.
This was Monday, right? It's such a long day, I'm having a hard time remembering what day it is.
Yeah, I've been up since 12 yesterday, besides a 5-hour nap.
All right, so flood warnings, flash flood warnings here. Grab my bag here so I can read. All right, flash flood warning. Dickinson County, they said heavy rain, 6 inches of it and another inch to 3 possible there. There's heavy rain moving back in Dickinson County now. Numerous roads underwater. 10 inches of road flowing over. K-15 and 5th and Abilene had 10 inches of water flowing over it a little while ago. Wabunsee County, Dickinson, Gary, Morris. 4.5 inches of rain, another 1 or 2 possible. I-70 between mile marker 287 and 288. Doesn't say it's underwater, it's just a flash flood warning. So I'm not trying to say that, but it's a big deal. All right, so what do we got over here? Flash flood warning for Dickinson, Gary, Potawatomi, Riley. 3 to 5 inches of rain. So again, there are a lot of areas that are in flash flood warnings right now, and it's hard to know. It's really hard to know which roads are underwater. You probably know in your neighborhood which areas flood. So any of those areas that usually flood probably are flooded right now. And when you have rain like this, you can have some unusual spots that don't normally flood that can flood. So, we got Topeka in this. It's a sliver of Jackson County. You got southern part of Potawatomi, almost all of Wabunsee, northwest Morris, most of Dickinson. We got to Ottawa County, southeast Clay, a lot of Riley County, not the northern part, but the southern part of Riley County, all of Gary County. All these areas under flash flood warnings, and it's just parallel to I-70 really. So, if you've got to drive tonight, just be super cautious. A couple of nights ago, we had that 7 to 9 inches of rain in parts of Nemaha and Brown counties, and I know there were some areas there that washed out. There were a couple of bridges on gravel roads and that kind of thing washed out. Just some severe erosion. And these things can get out of hand fast. So if it's daylight and you can see, it's one level of dangerous. If it's nighttime and you can't see, then you can encounter flood water and wind up with your car and flood water quickly. And if you think about the crews coming to try to save you, to rescue you, first of all, you and your cell phone are in the water. It may take a while before somebody even knows you've gone into water, and this can take a while to figure out where you are. You don't want to be in a situation where somebody has to rescue you from a car in moving water in the dark. If it's a low water crossing, the low water crossing is not where they're going to find you. Your car is going to start floating down the river or creek or ditch or something that wasn't even a ditch before, and you're going to wind up somewhere, off in the dark. There's not going to be any street lights or anything. I mean, it's bad. You don't want to wind up in a car in flowing water. So please, if you have to be on the roads tonight, use extreme caution. You don't want to drive into flood water. Again, the tornado risk now is basically gone.
Reports of flash flooding in Dover.
Flash flooding in Dover?
Yeah.
What's the report there? Just flash flooding, or does it say something specific?
Just flash flooding in the town of Dover.
Okay. Let me have the other source again, Bridge, if you can. Are you guys in there? He's one-manning it. Let's see how the ditches look here at outside, if they're still wild or if it's worse. Okay. I'm looking at some rivers and creek levels here, and I don't think they've quite ingested the amount of rain just yet. Cross Creek at Rossville is going to go up to 19.4 feet, it looks like. And Soldier Creek near Delia. It's not really showing the data yet. So it'll take a little while for the Weather Service data to ingest how much rain there is and how it's going to affect some of the creeks and rivers in the area. So use an extreme caution. Again, if you've got to be on the roads tonight or early tomorrow morning, this is still dangerous. All right, so the severe storm warning for Shawnee County, Franklin, Douglas, Osage goes till 12:45. So it's only for 3 more minutes here. We'll see what they do with it at that point. Also includes folks down in the Burlington area, Coffee County, over into Franklin, Anderson County. So they put that warning out for a big chunk of counties all at one time. And again, it expires at 12:45. Let's see what the winds look like in this now. It doesn't. I'm not sure if the stuff back behind this will become severe either. All right, so the warnings now go over to Kansas City. And for that, we've got till 1 o'clock in the morning. But this is kind of the same thing that happened in Topeka earlier, where they've got the warning out farther than the storm's probably going to get in time. So in Kansas City, the severe storm warning for Johnson, Leavenworth, Miami, Wyandotte goes till 1 a.m. So it has 16 minutes for the storm to move in. And there'll be some spots, really the highest population centers over in KC. They're not going to have a severe storm ongoing when the warning ends. So that happens sometimes where if they, it's a good thing to warn in advance, but sometimes, might be impatient. Yeah, Mitchell, what's up?
Report in NWS chat from emergency manager. 53rd and Fairlawn area has had 3.34 inches of rain since midnight for his weather station.
Since midnight?
Yep.
That's 44 minutes ago. Gee.
3.34 inches in 45 minutes.
That's
down the road, according to.
We have some rain coming in the back door over here.
We also have rain coming in the back door in the newsroom.
Here?
Yeah. And also, NWS also issued a severe thunderstorm warning for winds 70 mile per hour at 12:43 for Anderson, Coffee, Douglas, Franklin, Jefferson, Osage, and Shawnee.
A new severe storm warning?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So this just continues. That little loop-de-loop has decided to really just park itself.
Yeah. So what's happening here, it appears, is that the strong winds are still ripping in behind this. So it is not done with yet. But again, the tornado risk in this is much, much lower now. But strong straight line winds are still kicking behind this, no doubt.
And we're going to see gusty conditions tomorrow, which won't help with all the soggy soil. If you have loose tree roots, we may have some trees that just, if they're rotted, they just may fall out of the ground tomorrow with the 30 to 40 mile per hour gusts that we could see non-thunderstorm related.
This warning is almost the same exact area as the last warning was. It's really like they just did a copy paste on it. But I mean, it makes sense. So continuing with 70 mile per hour winds possible. Topeka, Lawrence, Osage City, Ottawa. Burlington is not in this one, but the southeast corner of Coffee County is. So it's not, it doesn't include Gridley or Burlington or New Strawn this time, or John Redmond Reservoir in those areas. Check out the hour rainfall here and see what the estimates show on the computer. Mitchell was just mentioning that we had a report there of more than 3 inches of rain in 44 minutes on the south side of Topeka, and that's just amazing. So let's take that off and see what kind of values we have here. That orange area, that's a 3.6 inch bullseye. There's 2.8 on the Doppler radar estimates. These are 1 hour estimates. So, you know, farther west, areas like Manhattan haven't rained heavily in the last hour. So we're kind of looking at the last hour of heavy rain. Near Burlington, we got there about 2.5, about an inch in Burlington itself. So just extremely heavy rain in many areas with this. And these strong straight line winds, as we put this into motion, what you'll see here, this is the bow echo and the kind of the north end, the book end here. You can see the whole thing spinning. We're still whipping these 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts into parts of Osage County, Franklin, Douglas, down into Anderson as well. So that's why we're still seeing the severe storm winds, the warning, even behind the thunderstorm complex itself. We're still seeing the strong winds behind this. And that warning goes till 1:15. So in Osage County, you're still seeing the radar indicating that kind of numbers. Let's see what we've got there.
Wow, lots of rain in that ditch now. It's about halfway up to the highway. Or, yeah.
It's close.
I'm putting this back.
Check out the view at Cyrus, or the downtown now. This is at 10th and Kansas. Once this loads, want to see how strong the winds are downtown. Doesn't look as rough as it did. But it seems to me like the west side of town is calming down now, at least here. Let's check out how the wind looks downtown. If I zoom in here on the street lights at 10th and Kansas, still pretty rough there. We're going to shut this down in about 10 minutes here, Mr. Isaac.
Okay. I just approved some pictures on the audience. It looks like a tree hit a house pretty good, a lot of water. So if you want to check that out.
Thank you. So this is how it looks now, downtown Topeka. And you can certainly see the winds, the trees are taking a beating there, right over here behind the pod. So those winds are probably 60 miles per hour close to it. I don't think that's quite 70. But it's certainly stronger downtown than it is over on the west side of town now. And no doubt the leading edge of those winds that are getting into the Franklin, Anderson counties, still extremely strong winds in those areas for sure. But what it looks like is we're still seeing very strong winds kind of behind that area of the heaviest precipitation here. That's moving through areas like Ottawa and Osage City still in that warning. It goes for another 24 minutes. Yeah, the shape of this is just amazing. We got the bow echo here, and there's wrapping on itself back here in the eastern part of Shawnee County, heading for Lawrence. That is really impressive. But just extreme humidity and instability today, and the storms that developed in northwest Kansas really feeding off that energy and becoming a powerful system moving across our area today. Some spots picking up a month worth of rain in just a couple of hours.
And that warning's still going out in Colorado?
The tornado warning?
Yeah.
Yeah. Until 12:15 a.m. Mountain Time.
I wonder if there's any spotters on it.
Probably 4,000 of them. 12 miles south of Burlington, moving east at 25. Doesn't say it's confirmed. Let's see if we've got a velocity on it, if it looks interesting. Doesn't look that wild. Maybe it's got a history. Probably has a history of causing problems. That's my guess. Let's see what the Weather Service has got to say on Chad, if there's anything new. All right, so downtown is still pretty windy. This is the view at 10th and Kansas downtown, where the rain is extremely heavy. And you can see the trees are really getting beat up there. Turn the camera and look north on Kansas Avenue and see if I can see a little better. The rain is so heavy there, it's kind of hard to really decide how bad the wind is. It's certainly strong, but I don't think it's 70 miles per hour, something like we were dealing with earlier. So things are calming down.
Your son's calling you, by the way.
Okay. Yo. Yeah. Hi. I'll leave in 5 minutes. I can't. I'll call you back in just a minute, okay? I'll call you right back. I gotta go. I'll call you right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the boss just called. The 9-year-old who was awake. When are you coming home? It's summer break, so, and it's loud outside, so.
The one that checks on you to see.
Well, it checks on me. Yeah, he does. So, all right, I can confidently say that the risk of seeing anything tornado or high end is gone. It's a flash flood risk now for the rest of tonight. Still some winds gusting 60, 70. But Mitchell, do you want to keep going with live stream or shut it down? Okay.
No, I'm going to get food. And then take my meds and work morning.
Mitchell's going to get food, as he deserves.
And then work mornings.
And then work the morning. Through the noon.
Yeah.
All right.
A lot of caffeine.
I'm sure. All right, we're going to shut down the live stream now. We've been doing this for a few hours today. I'm not even sure when we started today. This could have been a worse day. I know we have damage around Salina, a lot of it. The rotation we had earlier, that was in the in Dickinson County, that was moving toward Harrington and Council Grove. That rotation earlier today was wild. We had winds, but particles of storms moving 100 miles per hour in different directions on opposite sides of this. Did you see that earlier? You did? So,
It would be like a V-rod of like 200, right?
hmm?
It would be like a V-rod of 200.
Yeah. I mean, fortunately, they weren't close. The spots where it was going that rapidly were apart. And if you were looking at the radar back then, we had the radar going 100 miles per hour that way and 100 miles per hour the other direction right beside it. But this was a couple of miles apart. And it's not...
Practically bowed twice. And
It's ridiculous.
kind of like the Alta Vista.
Oh, yes. Alta, yeah. Yeah, a couple of years ago when I was in Colorado. Wow.
But that one was impressive because it was low precip and you could see
Yeah.
the striations between the bow.
I can't imagine what that looked like tonight if anybody got video of that. But we've got a lot of flash flooding tonight. There's going to be some wind damage, no doubt. The greatest wind damage is going to be areas of Saline County, possibly to McPherson. I would say that probably across Dickinson County, the southern part of Dickinson County, probably some wind damage too. There's a lot of places that are going to have wind damage from tonight. If you have to be on the roads, just be extra cautious. Don't drive through flood water. Mitchell's got 13 News this morning. Tomorrow, Doug's out of town. And I will see you tomorrow on 13 News at 4, 4:30, 5, 6, the night beat at 8:30, and 10, and on the web, and on the app. But right now,
And potentially streaming if we have another.
and potentially streaming. Right now, I'm going to see my kids. Good night.